I'm going to open up the meeting of the North Carver Water District Commission, Wednesday, July 10th, 2024, 6:30 in Meeting Room 4. I want to thank Area 58 for being here to videotape this. I kind of got a lot on the menu tonight, and a couple of things I've already crossed off that I will just bypass for certain things. All right, but first I want to introduce our two new old members, Eric Mueller and Doug Fisks. They got sworn in last Wednesday, I guess. And I just wanted to bring up as for introductions too, after the last election where I was voted in, the two members at the time voted me in as the chairperson. And the I looked up under Mass Municipal Association. It says most boards reorganize and elect a chair at the first meeting following an annual town election, which I went back into the meeting minutes of this board and found out that that's what they typically do. So I just want to let that be known here for it. And then I just want to make sure you guys are aware, number one, there's a ethics that you have to go through, a test you got to do through ethics. You got to do, there's actually a class I just got a notice on, and I'll forward those to you for ethics training. There's also open meeting law to take a look at, and public records laws you should take a look at too. And then just for us as water commissioners is Mass General Law, Chapter 40, Section 39E. That's management of water system, where it says this section provides authority of the Board of Water Commissioners to manage, improve, and control a water and property taken, acquired, erected, or constructed for a public water supply system. The other one is Mass General Law, Chapter 41, Section 69B, Water Commissioners, Powers and Duties. This section vests exclusive responsibility with water commissioners or the selectmen authorized to act as such for the source water quality protection, subject to all lawful bylaws and to such instructions, rules and regulations as the town may from time to time imposed by its vote. And then the other one is Mass General Law 111, Section 173A and 173B, and that's dealing with protection of water sources. All right, so I think you guys should get familiar with those when you get a chance. Tons of reading. And as you see, I've been very busy for the past month and a half. I left you copies of the water reports from last year and this year here, so you guys can go look at those. I also gave you a copy of the emergency plan. One of the things that we're going to have to do once we get somebody in here is to actually do a emergency training with our emergency people here. Police, fire, EMS, DPW, and I've already started a training program for that that we can go through at a later date. We don't have someone now. So I'm going to first introduce public comment. Anybody have anything to say? Comments, issues, suggestions? All righty. I want to thank you two for coming today. The next one on the list is bills payable here on the agenda. So take these kind of a little bit out of order to some extent, but the first one is I want to pay Ms. Hannon. So if I take a motion in a second to pay her total of $75 for doing our meeting minutes.
I motion to pay him.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Discussion? All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you very much. And if you can just initial that. Any of the bills, I like to have people initial when we do authorize them. All right, there's one. All right. We'll do that one after. The next one is the phone bill. And right now, the phone bill, we have 2 months. So there was a balance of $324.08. And then this month's charge of June 10th was $428.54 for a total of $752.62. Then there's another Verizon bill for $428.54, and this is July 8th, $428.54, and for a total of $857.08. Not sure why we have two separate bills.
I think one is the line in for the alarm system.
Okay.
The plant itself.
So the plant right now has no phone. It's been shut off. I went there the other day and
The landline?
checked it, the landline.
Okay.
It's not working right now. And I think it's because we haven't paid the bill in 2 billing cycles. Who knows? There could be something wrong with the line. So we'll take these one at a time. The first one totaling $752.62. I'll make a motion. I'll take a motion from someone to pay that bill.
I'll make a motion.
Motion, second. And discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay. I just initial that one. And the next one for $857.08. I'll entertain a motion for that one.
I'll make a motion.
Second it.
Any discussion? Motion's made and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Excellent. It's unanimous. The next ones are, yeah. Leave that one for the end. Is Solera America. So I did get a copy of the contracts. Yeah, it's heavy reading, I'll just let you know. Yeah.
And probably didn't get you anywhere either.
Not really. We need to sit down with somebody and have a real serious discussion with Solera America and what these bills are. And from what my discussions is that we approve these bills. It gets calculated up in the finance office, and then they go ahead and they adjust the bill as that with the credits. How that really goes, I'd like someone to come down and explain it to me, and explain the public for it. So the first bill here from Solera America is $1,883.37. The next one is $4,599.54. And then the next one is $4,671.30.
Sorry, 4,671.
$4,671.30, 30.
That's 2 billing cycles, right?
2 billing cycles, yeah. And the next one is $1,940.64. So, I'll entertain a motion that we pay all these all at once as a lump sum vote if you guys want to.
What's the total on it?
Total of all of them?
Yeah.
I didn't do a total of all of them.
Yeah.
All right. You want a total? One. All right, we'll do it individually. All right, take a motion on the $1,883.37.
I'll make a motion.
Second it.
Motion seconded. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, there's one. Next one is $4,599.54. I'll entertain a motion.
Make that motion.
Second it.
Motion made second. Discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, unanimous. Next one, entertain a motion for $4,671.30.
Make that motion.
Second it.
Motion seconded. Discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
And the last one is $1,940.64.
Make a motion.
You have a motion?
Second?
Second. Further discussion? There being none, all those in favor say aye.
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 Aye. Okay, unanimous. All right. Last one here.
$13,000.
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
That's insane.
Just initial that. All right, and the last one is small water systems. Yeah, we do get a bill from them again. This is for water testing from 4/9/24 and 5/7/24. Their total bill is $650. So,
What's it testing for? Is it for the, the name?
yeah. Thank you. I thought we were all done with theirs, but clearly we're not.
I thought the water testing was included in their bills in the past.
This is the analytical charge. They do their testing, but the analytical costs.
They charge us, that's what I found out.
So this is the plant tap sample, and
Yeah.
then
I think it's from the wells, the two
Yeah.
wells and the one inside at the sink, would be
Yeah.
my guess on those.
Tractor Supply also.
So I do have a bills payable detailed paperwork here that I was given, which has all of these bills located on it. There's an issue with that I have to discuss, but,
Okay, so this is where the intake is, where it comes in from Middleborough.
yeah.
And then Tractor Supply, and then it looks like the tap at the plant itself.
So, we have those reports, the results are in there. All right, that being said, at least they should be. I'll check. I'll entertain a motion to pay this bill, because they did do the testing.
Second.
Motion's made, seconded. Further discussion? Yeah. We haven't gotten any bills yet from Middleborough at all for their testing of our places, so
Yeah,
we'll have to discuss that at a later date. But I just figured to let you guys know that may be coming down the pike. So we got a motion seconded. Any other discussion? All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right, we have this bills payable detailed, and it has all of these bills located into it, but on one of them, it has Carver Ambulance Service written on it.
So that's out of this well supply then?
So I don't know why we're getting a bill for them.
That should fall under the supply of, yeah.
Yeah, so, like I said, that's the only thing that I have. They want us to sign this, so,
I think that has to be, that's separate from North Carver Water.
Yeah. I'll get
It was
that
probably a
corrected.
billing error.
yeah, so I mean, I don't feel comfortable correcting this. If you guys turn around and authorize me to investigate this, and as long as that's taken out of there,
Yeah.
that I can sign this and our bills can get paid.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Yeah,
Okay.
That
absolutely.
falls under this supply.
Okay, so I'll put that in front.
It's the school here and then North Carver.
For
Oh, yeah,
elementary school
Right.
here
Yeah.
and then the middle.
Okay.
middle high school, yeah.
All right, we did bills payable. Next one, in your packet, I've been very, very busy here. Where is it? Did I pass it? Oh. There we go. Yeah, so, new council for the North Carver Water District. I put this on for a couple of reasons. The first one is, the town of Carver has KP Law as their counsel. The North Carver Water District is a separate, distinct entity from the town of Carver. As a former member of the Waste District, we didn't use Copeland and Page. Michael Milanowski used it, but when I got on the board and became the chairman, we changed over our counsel for the district. They had their own counsel. It was just a gentleman doing it for us, and we went through the whole interview process of putting a RFP out there for it, and we had 3 people that came back, and they were interested in being counsel. We interviewed all 3 of them, and then we had discussions, and we picked one for the Waste District. Because we're a separate entity, I feel that having Copeland and Page as our law firm is a clear conflict of interest between the town of Carver, the town of Middleborough, which, from what I was told, KP Law has that too. And that being said, I have created a request for proposal for legal services for the North Carver Water District. You have it in your packet here. I took this from the state. I adjusted it to have the North Carver Water District just deal with us, period, cut and dry. So I would like to have a discussion first before we go for a vote. Are you guys interested in having counsel just for us that will just do North Carver Water District? And I'll open it up.
I'm fine with that. I think we might be putting the cart before the horse because of budgeting and funds to support that. Because I think Copeland and Page, it rolls up underneath the town of Carver. And we kind of default, the North Carver Water District kind of defaults to Carver, kind of picks up some of the funds that we can't pay. So they'll end up paying for another attorney. I think, if we don't have it in the budget, I don't believe. I think there was not much
Okay.
left in there, because we don't have any funds coming in now, where we're not on a system.
And I understand that, but we also need counsel for us that will represent us. One of the issues that did come up is that when I became elected member of this board, and I was voted in as chairman, I went out and I started getting quotes from people, and then the town administrator went ahead and got a legal opinion from Copeland and Page about me doing any work.
Yeah, I think of municipal, we fall under a municipal hat, so.
No, you have to understand that.
Right.
You have legal counsel doing an opinion against somebody they represent. That is a conflict of interest, okay? Had I gotten called or gotten notification, say, hey, listen, we represent the North Carver Water District, all right, there's a inquiry about this, all right? Could have been resolved without even going to Copeland and Page, all right? But if we have Copeland and Page that represents the town of Carver, all right, we need our own counsel, in my opinion, okay? So whether we have it in the budget or we don't have it in the budget, okay, we need our own counsel. That goes along with this is that we have a signed agreement between Mike Palmieri and you with the town of Middleborough, but we don't have a signed copy that they signed it. So we have no copy of an agreement with them,
I think there's
okay?
something on file.
I have a copy of, again, that the North Carver Water District Commissioner signed it, and I have a signed copy back from Middleborough.
So therefore, all right, it's not a duly enacted,
Right.
okay? That's why we need our own counsel, because our own counsel would have picked that up and said, hey, time out here. Okay, you signed it, we don't have a copy, because they're gonna be looking out for the best interest of us here. That's why we need our own counsel that we can go to and be able to do it. So, whether we have the money in the budget or not, doesn't matter,
Well, it does to hire somebody.
all right?
So we might have to get finance.
Correct. If I could, Mr. Chairman?
Sure, go ahead.
I think you're absolutely right. I do think it is the cart before the horse here. I think the North Carver Water District has many issues that need to be tackled. This is one that's lower on the scale. I mean, you have many things that need to be addressed. Getting new counsel, I don't see where Copeland and Page has refused to do anything for you. I think they can be objective about it. You know, the decision they rendered with you being chair, right, is a decision to protect you, because, you know, we don't want you making decisions, right, where you didn't have a majority of the board to make those decisions, you know what I mean, that's what that was
But
all
one
about.
thing is that, okay, a simple phone call would have sufficed to me, where I would say, I totally understand I cannot make decisions for the district without having a full board. I know that. But I can go out and get people to find out, I need estimates for this, this, and this to be prepared for a meeting that we have like this. All right? And like I said, with Copman and Page, all right, giving that decision against, really, it's not just me, but it's the whole
It isn't against
board.
you, that's me, I don't think it's against you,
But it was.
It's a legal opinion.
Okay, but it wasn't a legal opinion, all right, by a council that represents the district. But I have no documentation that says that KP Law is a representative of the North Carver Water District. I have nothing that says that. We are a separate entity of the town of Carver. Period, cut and dry. All right?
Well, you know,
Just
you
like
say
the.
that, that's not true, though.
But it is.
No, it's so mixed.
No.
Who's putting together your bills? Who's paying your bills? Who's paying your bills?
You have to understand, how it was done before is not the way it needs to be done now.
No, that's not true. It's always
Okay.
been this way for a long time. You
Yeah,
don't
if
have
you-
the funds to be able to hire people to pay bills.
And it's not that, it's that any bills that are being done by the town, and this is my opinion, any bills being done by this town should be billed back to the district, so we have a full accounting of how much this district cost the town. Period. So if you have something that the operation maintenance does, they should be sending a bill to the North Carver Water District. This is how much time it took our guys to do it, and this is what equipment it did. If you have finances that are doing work for the district, they
Right.
should be sending a bill to the district so that we can turn around and have a full accounting. Because when you intermix all these different things that are being done, it gets gray and muddy, and who's in charge, who's not in charge, and everything. So I think it'd be clearer if we go ahead and do stuff like that.
So if I may, so we do have, this is tracked through finance. They do have a expenditure and income statements. That tracks,
Okay.
it tracks all those details. Right down, insurance, meters, dues, repairs, legal services, or everything is in here.
Why haven't I gotten that?
I believe you have.
I haven't gotten this.
You and Karen had a meeting and she handed you the budget. I don't have it with me.
That's,
Oh.
that's just a fiscal year.
You
Oh, this is just a budget. Yeah, this is just a budget. It's not,
That's a P&L for where we performed as of like last month, a year. That's a roll-up.
right, the budget I did get for that. I thought this was something different, but this doesn't have like, it has the municipal insurance, but it doesn't have what operation maintenance does when they mow the place. They don't have the finances of how much finance puts out there. All right, this is more our budget. This isn't
Well, this,
an accounting of what.
well, it is
everything-
actually, because if you look at this and you break it out, so our total costs were $430,000 to run that plant last year. We took in $132,000.
I understand that, but it's not itemized. It's
Yeah,
it's
no,
really
it is.
not itemized of say, how much the town is actually paying out.
Well, anything that's above and beyond the 132.
Yeah,
It's
the
paid
town
by the
Carver's
town.
paying the rest of it.
But we don't have individual itemized list of how much everything cost us, and that's what I'm saying.
Well, no, it's-
And that's what town council would be really good for, if we had our own council to go in here and say, okay, fine, we do, we want everything itemized out, and that there is an agreement made with our council and the town council of Copman, KP Law, that this is what goes on, and this,
You don't need two lawyers for that.
what?
I don't think you need two lawyers for that.
Well, we need to
That's
ma-
an accounting.
Well, I don't think having one council for all of us, all right, is in the best interest of the North Carver Water District. If you guys disagree, you guys disagree, that's fine.
Yeah.
All right, but I think we should put a RFP out for council for the North Carver Water District.
Yeah, I'd want to wait, because I know there's other items on your agenda that want to go through expenditures. And I think what we have to do initially is we have to sit down with
Figure out
finance, the TA.
Yeah, you got a long way to go before you
O&M.
have a new council.
Well, I'd personally like our own council here to make sure that everything's being done right and that everything's accurate and correct, and that the district's being run the right way. And in my opinion, it hasn't been run the right way, because there's a lot of ifs, and this person does this does that, but we need full accountability of the numbers.
Right, well, this ledger is, the town, they don't do a lot, the town doesn't, they pick up the extra money, but everything's itemized, legal services, repairs, electrical, anything that was done at this plant and costs that went out that we had to sign for bills direct to the, are here. That's, and I know you have some other things in your agenda this evening. So I think it's a good idea, what we have to do is we have to get ourselves, the TA, finance, select board members, somebody from operations and maintenance, because they should be involved as well. You picked up on the plant, that's an easy town cost, they're working during the day anyway, they maintain the roads and the buildings and facilities. That can happen up in North Carver as well. Because at the end of the day, there's an old contract, if you look on the inception of North Carver Water, at the end of the day, the town of Carver owns that. It's the town of Carver's responsibility at the end of the day.
No, actually, once we created a North Carver Water District, everything part of the North Carver Water District, the plant, the pipes, everything under the ground is all owned by the North Carver Water District. That's
Right.
the way the laws are set out.
Yes, but by default, everything falls back to the town of Carver. I'll have to take out, there is a contract, and it's spelled out legally,
And
and I'll get a copy of it for the board.
the law is the law. I'm looking at the law, what the law says, what a North Carver Water District is, all right, how it was created at town meeting.
Right.
Okay, the laws that govern us here as North Carver Water District Commissioners, all right, and I think we need to be protected with a law firm and a separate law firm, especially if there's going to be contracts going to be created utilizing Copman and Page for both the town of Carver and the town of Middleborough. I think it's clear conflict of interest, and I think we need to go forth and put one out there now.
Right, but let's establish a working group to get the funds to support that. Nobody's gonna work for us if we can't pay them.
So they have to be paid no matter what,
Right,
okay? We do have a budget in there for legal, not a big one,
right.
okay?
Yeah, is it $1,500? Yeah,
And clearly that's not enough. I mean, clearly that was not enough to be put in.
$2,000.
$2,000.
Last year, we spent $800 on legal fees. We have $1,200 left in there.
Wow.
So-
Excellent.
But obviously, that's gonna run, $1,200 doesn't go far. These
So I'll entertain a motion for us to put an RFP for legal counsel.
I think we should hold off. And like Eric says, get over discussion.
Okay, no problem. We'll move on. All right, next one is discussion for Middleborough water use for the North Carver Water District members and future issues. Vote to invite the town administrator for Carver, Middleborough Town Administrator, Middleborough Water Supervisor, to our next meeting, to have a discussion about what they're doing, how they're doing it, and really just solidify and really talk about the signing of the contract with them and having us all in. So I'll entertain discussion for that.
You wanna get, what, Middleborough together?
Yeah, I'd like Middleborough to come in, sit down with us, have a nice discussion with them about what's going on
fine
and
with
what they've
that.
been doing
Yeah, I'm fine with
with it
Like the-
for our next
Meet 'em,
meeting.
know 'em.
And it's
Yeah.
a way to build a better rapport with them. Clearly, I don't think they really like me that much, but life goes on.
Do you want me to call?
No, not at all. Like I said, it's up to them if they want to come in and,
They
like I
may
said.
want us to come over to Middleborough. We're on their system, so, and I don't know,
Well, it's
Yeah.
it'll be our invitation for it, so, and, like I said, my schedule's pretty tapped out for the next month, for things, so I gotta be really careful on what I sign up for different meetings, so.
yeah, do you don't need a motion on that, right? We're gonna-
No, but you know what we'll do, is I will take something out of order if it's okay with you guys, and, the next meeting, how about we look at that for our next meeting? And I shut my phone off. So, as you know, I do work nights, I work 2 to 10:30. Wednesdays are my only day off during the week.
Does that work better for you, Wednesday nights?
Wednesdays work for me. I mean, I don't know about you guys,
Yeah.
but
That's fine.
It's fine.
I'll try to make it earlier than 6:30. It was just a little different today.
No more.
If that makes it easier for 6:30 or 6, whatever works for you. I know
Whatever
you-
works for you, Bob.
All right.
Yeah. You wanna do 6:30?
If we can do earlier, that'd be better, you know what I mean? But if we, whatever, it's
Yeah, 'cause
Wednesday.
you have
Yeah,
obligations,
6.
family obligations.
So I can get them back by 6. I was lucky today.
If 6
for
works for you, Bob,
6.
that's good. If
All right.
6:30 is better, that's cool too. Whatever you want, whichever's good for you.
So the next one is the 24th
Oh, 2 weeks, you wanna do another?
in 2 weeks, if we could.
Is that enough time for her to get everything published and sent?
I don't publish,
Yeah.
Jill would, but
Jill
yes,
did,
it should
yeah.
be.
Yeah, I'm good with the 24th.
So 7:24, I'm sorry, did you say 6:30?
6. 6, we'll do 6.
6, okay?
If that's all right, guys. Thank
Yep.
you. All right, I'm gonna move back on to discuss and vote on the following proposals. All right, so exterminators. So with exterminators, I went ahead and contacted 4 different exterminators, and one came down and he never gave me a proposal. The other one never showed up, so I'm left with 2 here. And the issue with this is that we have mice living in the plant, and those need to be taken care of. We have bugs all around the entrances there that are in, and there's tons of dead bugs all over the plant,
Inside or outside?
inside. So, the first one was Midway Pest Control. He's out of Carver here. It was $450 for the initial treatment, and then $200 a year thereafter for maintenance. That's the first one here. The next one was A1 Exterminators. They came at $350 for initial service, $125 for follow-up service, and then $64 tax. Oh, equipment and tax, plus tax. So, that's that one.
Every other month interior service, bait. So 6 times for each follow-up service, so 750-ish plus 350. And they wanted, Midway just wanted the initial 450 and then
200 a year.
200 per year.
Yeah.
I think we can do that with our budget, we can do that.
I'll entertain a
That's
motion.
underneath the threshold that we can just get hire an
Yeah,
exterminator.
10,000, something.
Yeah. I make a motion to contact Midway and
We have a motion.
Second it.
Motion is second. Discussion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay, I will contact them and get that rolling. All right, next one is porta potty. So the bathroom in there is a composting toilet, and it says do not use. I don't know what's wrong with it.
I'm already on it, so
Okay,
I deal with wastewater, so.
all right,
Let me look, nobody's utilizing that plant right now, so I don't,
Correct.
there's no rush on the porta potty, so let me, now that I'm fully involved, let me look at the toilet.
okay. I still want to go through these anyways.
Yep. Well, it was a toilet issue.
Toilet issue. All right, so this is for a porta potty. It would be a handicap one, so they're a little bigger. The first one was DRK Mobile Toilets. Their total was $150 for a monthly rental fee.
I'm sorry, did you say 150?
$150.
Okay.
Next one was Bolduc. Is $365 plus tax. And then, yeah, that's that one. That's
Per month?
Bolduc.
Per month?
Per month?
Yeah, that's what it looks like. 365. Yeah. This other one from Pilgrim, oh, wait, I had this one the wrong one. Pilgrim Pest Control. Sorry, I had another one. Sorry, I got in my wrong one. The initial treatment from Pilgrim Pest Control is $275 a monthly, $275 with a monthly maintenance of $75 a month for a 12-month period.
So wait a minute, is that an additional one?
No, this is the pest control. It was put in the
Right.
wrong
We
one.
had Midway and we had A1, so is
Right.
there an additional?
Yeah, there is another one. I
Yeah, but-
apologize.
Yeah, but that's fine, with the cost, it's definitely gonna exceed.
I think so too.
So,
All right, sorry about that.
but, no, that's fine, add
Those are the
those in,
wrong-
because we had the three.
What was
we
the
had three
name
quotes.
of that one?
This one was Pilgrim Pest Pro.
And they were coming in at,
They were $275 monthly maintenance, $275 to treat the mouse, and then $75 a month. And then it would transfer to a quarterly bill after 3 months. Well, it comes out the same amount, $125 every 3 months.
so the motion still stands for
Do you,
Midway?
do you guys want to
Yeah, we'll,
vote on this again?
No.
I'm sorry, I apologize.
no, we'll stick with Midway. I know they don't do a lot of work in Carver already, so.
All right, so let me get back to porta potties here. All right, porta potties, so Premier Portable. I have no idea, I can't read this. Potties, I guess. They are at $275 a month, porta potty monthly rate, total of 3 months, yeah. For 3 months, it's $825. So the first one was 150. The next one was 365. This one's 275. And then this one is a little different to talk about. It's called Wasted. It's a new company, and they actually recycle the urine in it. The urine is treated for it, and they actually have something with the DEP for it as a program. It's to cut down on waste, but their monthly prescription is $260 plus tax, so it comes out to $276.25. And for the year is $796.25. I think that's the way I read it.
So why don't we table those?
Those are 3 months. That was for 3 months, sorry, the 870 was 3 months.
Yeah, the average
I need to-
usually is around 130 to 150 a month.
So before we have anybody that can work in there.
Right.
Or be down there, it's my opinion, we need to do something with the toilet situation.
Yep.
Whether it can be repaired or fixed or whatnot,
Yeah, it's a Sonotron. I got all the information on it, so.
so, okay, we'll put a hold on that one.
Mr. Chairman, a question. Do you know what budget you're gonna pay these out of? Is there a general maintenance budget? You know, is it line item? Again, I don't have your budget in front of
There
me.
was,
Is
there was
there a general line item?
not for, there was no budget initially, oh, if I may. There was no budget initially when I came on, and when we put an amount aside, I think it was $50,000 a year.
Yes, remember that.
Was it?
Yeah,
Because
there's
there was
like
nothing, and that was mostly for the plant itself, for
Okay.
Unforeseen,
Yeah.
yeah, unforeseen things.
pumps,
Just general.
controls.
Okay.
So the way that I look at that budget as that there are certain things that we have to do for the health and safety of the plant.
Right.
No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Having a workable toilet, in my opinion, needs to happen. Taking care of the mice issue and the bug issues, it has to happen. We can't have people working there with rodents being run around, okay? So things like that need to get done. The next one here is the alarm system. So, the alarm system used to be run with a phone system.
Right.
Used to be, it's been disconnected. I don't know who authorized the disconnection of it, but no matter what, the alarm system still is there. But it needs to be upgraded and updated. So I had, the first one is, the way I did this is I had them give me a price for an alarm system to replace the control panel and to control the CPU unit on the inside, because everything else works. So it's just the,
It's probably outdated.
yeah, it just is. So, the first one I have is Paul's Bay State Alarm LLC. He came in at a total of $1,230.49, with a monitoring fee of $24.95 a month.
$24.95.
$24.95 for the monitoring fee.
Okay.
He also gave a price for cameras, and this is if you guys want to go that route, not right now, but in the future, I get for cameras. And for put cameras up, it was $2,762.54. $2,762.54. So that's the first one. Yeah, pass that one along. That way. Next one is Higgins Security. And
Where are they at? Higgins.
Higgins of Wareham, East Wareham. They came in at $1,095 for the replacements, and then a monthly monitoring fee of $58 a month, which is billed quarterly. Okay. He then came at a price for the cameras at $10,757.84. There's that one. And then he gave us a total if we did both at the same time. And the final one I have here is Watch 24, and they're out of Middleborough. And for the control panel and a transmitter and everything, it came out to $1,110. Monitoring fee is $25.95. And that's invoiced quarterly. And then they have a cellular service of $15.95 monthly, which is billed quarterly too. There, for that one. And then for the cameras, it would be $6,012 for that. So, this is one there.
So this will probably have to get, so I don't know, so this is a water supply system. So monitoring and alarm systems, I just had one installed at a wastewater plant. It's gotta go through certain thresholds for protection, so nobody can backdoor.
Correct.
It's good. Did they do all that? They know all that or no?
Yes.
They do, okay.
So those are the three that I put in for the security. I don't know if you guys want to make a decision about that tonight or not.
No, well,
Hold off on that too. All right.
don't wanna spend it, but
Well, got to keep a safe facility. All right, next one is the lighting. So I've had 4 different people come down and take a look at it. Only 2 have given me an estimate. Okay, one guy was from Middleborough and the other guy was from Plymouth. But I have Interstate Electric here, and the issue with these are the outlets. The GFCI outlets are bad. If you put too much plugs into it, it blows it out. So those ones need to be replaced. The other issue is the lighting in the back of the facility don't work. The light bulbs are probably all blown out of them or anything. I don't know, because I went in there one day and the two in the back were out, and then I went in there a couple days later, and the ones in the front blew out. So clearly the lighting, they're all the tube ones. Both suggested we go to get rid of the fluorescent ones and then put in the what are they called?
Iridescent.
LED, no, the LED ones, to switch them all over to LEDs. And that's what I asked them to give us a price on switching them all out. So Interstate Electrical was $16,539. That's to take them all out, switch them over, and then go ahead and fix the outlets. John Dahl Electric is here in Carver. He came in, he gave a price of $14,375. So those are the electric ones that I have. So if you want me to keep reaching out for others,
I'm curious, doesn't the town have an electrician, or, I mean, not have an electrician, but doesn't the town hire out an electrician, or has one on standby?
and that's the issue that we have, is that we are a separate entity from the town. I want to keep it as a separate entity to the town. That's the way it was created by town meeting, to keep it as a separate entity to town. We should be doing this. This is what we should be doing. Going out, getting bids, and voting on those bids for it. We shouldn't be using the towns, all right, that we don't need, all right, that we can do this ourselves.
Okay.
So first thing I would do is reach out to the electric company, so we could probably get that down to about $4,000, because they'll do a swap out of all the lights with a reduced rate. I don't know, through our supplier, we'll have to contact the supplier and they come out.
Okay.
That'll save a ton of money off that. That's the first thing I would do.
Okay, so we'll put this one off too.
Yep.
All right.
And they can probably upgrade all the lighting around, even outside the facility and inside the facility, to something that's current.
Well, that's what, they were all gonna be done.
Yeah.
All of them were gonna be changed over to LEDs. All right, the next one is generator company. So the issue with the generator, it doesn't run. It's in a lockout mode. The electricians would also look at that to find out what's wrong with it. That was one of the other things with electricians.
Did it say what the lockout was? Is it electrical, or it didn't say?
Doesn't say, does not say. But needless to say, it's not working, so it's gonna have to work for the winter time in case something happens if it's not, we don't have someone in there by the winter, which we should. So I did reach out to a couple of generator companies that weren't interested. I did reach out to the one that we used to have, F&M, and the issue with that is that they didn't get paid by the district, and that the town here, O&M, canceled us from their system, from their services. It says it differently on the meeting minutes, is that they went to the one with small water systems. I contacted Small Water Systems, they came and did one service only, one service. And they're out of the west, we need someone closer by. All right, so F&M said they're still interested in it for us, so, but we're gonna need to do something with this.
What size generator, do you know, 20 kilowatt?
It's huge, it's a big one. It's not as big as the first one that was in there. The huge one there. But needless to say, and that was one of the other issues with the generator, I guess. There were issues with fluctuations of how much power was coming in, and was interacting with some of the components of the water system. At least that's what I read through meeting minutes, there were issues. So, just figured I'd give you guys a update on the generator situation, and we're gonna have to do something with that.
Okay.
All right?
Is that an invoice from them? Is that
No.
what you're holding?
No, this is just information for it, that they're willing to work with us in the future if we want to.
Sorry, Mr. Chairman, was that F&M again?
That's F&M.
And they've been made whole then? I mean, you said they didn't get paid for a while.
From what I read, is that the emails that went through is that the O&M paid their bill for us.
Okay, so they have been paid.
So they've been paid, yeah, they've been paid, but I don't think that should have been paid by the town, it should have come from us. All right, why that happened, I don't know, but, that's not up for me to
Okay.
deal with. The next thing on my list, do you guys have anything else with the generators you want to discuss?
No.
Before moving on. The next one is seeking cleaners. So, yeah, I ain't doing it.
I'll do it.
I mean, seriously, I mean, when you talk about mice, you have to spray it down first. And all behind the sink and the cabinets there, there's lots of little bugs and everything. And plus, there's like caked on iron from the water when they had they never cleaned up. They never cleaned it after we had the leak that was there.
It might have
So,
been, well, I'd have to look at it. It's probably after they put the membranes in.
but even still, I mean, go to pressure washer and just clean it all up. Why do you have gritty stuff on the
It's probably
ground? I
iron-
mean,
Iron and manganese.
so it's just not, I mean, if someone's gonna come in here and start working on our facility, I want it neat and clean when they walk in, and I want everything audited. I wanted everything documented before they come in, and take over. So, that's something that we're gonna need to deal with, for it. And, how do you intend on cleaning it?
Take it, please. No, I wanna look at it first.
Okay. That's further on the list. All right. So just before anybody gets in there, like I said, anybody goes into the work, we gotta take care of the porta potty, the exterminator. We'll deal with the electrical work, because we're gonna need lighting in there, and the alarm systems are gonna have to get done before anybody goes in there and does any work. So, the next one is the payment for toner. I took that out because I threw away my receipt, and don't worry about it, I'll deal with that. The next one is to clean up the chemical room. We need to find someone to do that. That's something I don't think any of us should be touching. So,
Doug, what would be in it? It's probably shock, or what would be in there for the chemicals?
there's
We have to see the
there's
plan.
chlorine in there, there's a couple of different chemicals. I did reach out, let me get my emergency list here.
So we had,
Morning.
right,
Yeah,
right,
treat them iron and manganese.
yeah, when the thing is either sodium hydroxide or potassium hydroxide.
What is the?
Is there much chemical in there?
There's chemical on the walls, on outlets.
Like staining?
No, not staining, caked on. Really caked on. There's actually a container that looks like it used to have a pump on the top of it. They took the pump off and the wires are hanging out, which electrical inspector's already been in there for it. So, yeah, that all needs to be cleaned out, and we need to have a professional company come in and do that. Hazardous material, Department of Environmental Protection, they actually have a 24/7 hotline for the company that does it. Clean Harbors, there it is, it's right in front of my face. Clean Harbors will come in and do it, they've
There
already,
should be a MSDS sheet in there, though. Material safety data sheet.
yeah,
Okay, and that should have the chemicals listed that are in that.
And should
right.
have,
But even still, all of the chemicals are in bins, and those bins have chemicals on the bottom of the bins. They were
Okay.
never cleaned out. That's why it needs to be cleaned before anybody comes in there, all right, to make sure they're starting at a good level
Right.
of cleanliness in it, and having a room with caked-on chemicals on outlets on it, and I had pictures of it, but
Go down there with inventory, what's on there.
So, I
of
mean,
the containment.
but like I said, Clean Harbors, they did say they would take care of it for us, we just gotta call them. The next one, landscaping, the operation maintenance did mow the inside of the building, the fenced-in area, which I want to thank you very much for doing that. But we still have other landscaping that needs to happen. On the outside of the fence line, that has to be done too, about 6 feet, 5, 6 feet out, around the whole perimeter. of that fenced-in area. There are trees growing up, the trees need to be cut down. We can't have trees up there on both sides of the property. The drainage area that it goes into, there's a tree right in front of the gate, you can't even get in because it's all thorny on in, and it's all rusted, the lock is rusted in it. I tried opening it, it doesn't open. WD-40 would probably work with it, but even still, that one, there's trees growing in it, not supposed to be in there. It's supposed to be a nice, clean area with water plants on the inside of it, which there are water plants in it that helps dissipate anything that goes in there, but even still, it's not the way it should be.
Okay.
And that needs to get done, like I said, and that can hold off
Well, that'd
right
be
now,
another
but.
meeting with the group, O and M. I wanna get finance, O and M, TA, select board members together.
Okay. So that'll be on another, pass that along too. All right, in your packets, I actually took an RFP from another town, here. The last one, right? Where is it? Oh, here it is. Okay. I created an RFP for it. It's in your packet there. And I changed everything that covers North Carver Water District. I added a few things in there that should go with our system that I really didn't see it mentioned in it. But I based this on a time frame here. In your packet, you'll also see, all right, the violation response form that was submitted by DEP. All right, and I also gave you the old one that was in draft form too. But this gave us 30 days to get an operator in. So this was on 6/21, so clearly we're not gonna meet our 7/21 30-day notice on this. There's no way of doing it. We need an operator. I also gave you in your packets, the DEP has a listing of different companies that they are certified with them to run public water supplies, and there's also single operators here. I can tell you, I went through all the ones that were close by here, about 50 miles to us, and I sent them all emails, and the only two companies that came back to me was Natural Systems Utilities and Weston and Sampson.
At less than,
Weston and Sampson. And I actually, when I was going through some of the old meeting minutes of the North Carver Water, we actually used Weston and Sampson at one time. Why we used them, I don't know. I haven't quite gotten that far with it. And then for operators, I got two people responded. The first one said he's not interested at all. And the other guy came down, he looked at the system, and then he called back and said, you know what, it's too big for me, I can't do it. And I said, okay, fine. So, that being said, my first goal was to hire somebody for 30 days, for 3 months, just to get us started, and we'd get rid of this issues with the DEP, but since we're already not in compliance, and we're not gonna be in compliance, I decided, I said, you know what, I'll just make up an RFP for us, and that's what I did. That's what you have in your packet. It says North Carver Water District, request for proposal, water system operations and management. Carver Water Supply System, and it would cover a 3-year from 2024 to 2027. And I put in dates for this. I just gotta find my dates. So we would release the advertisement on July 12th. They would have an inspection of the plant on the 20th. And then proposals, all the proposals will be due by August 5th. And then we were to award it on August 7th. So I know you just got this today, but we need to do something. So I'll entertain a motion.
Oh. Can I offer some input?
Sure, go ahead.
All right, so I did speak to Jim McLaughlin at DEP. Per him, plant needs to be addressed, but it is not the primary concern at this time. That was from Jim directly. That's what he had stated. I think before we jump into like a 4-year, 3-year contract, we have to kind of circle back to the group. You know, primary, first thing we have to do is meet with the group. We're gonna have to get funds aside to do a feasibility engineered study of the North Carver Water District and which way we wanna go. Spend the money, it's probably gonna be expensive. Get in touch with a primary, secondary operator, T2, D1 operator, that's what's required for the plant. I don't believe you need 2, I think 1 can do that job for that plant,
You need you need two.
so we need 2, so.
We need a primary and a secondary
So we need like
operator.
an NSU or a small water type
But I do
company.
believe it can be the same firm.
It can be the same
Yes.
person, so you're gonna
It can be.
have, it's basically it's a backup guy in case he's not in there. But I think to go through a lot of these items, what we first gotta do is we gotta kinda look at the district itself with every entity in the town, the finance department, O&M, TA, select board, ourselves, all involved. Put an RFP out for an engineered firm to come out and do a study. And then we walk through, and as a group, we can determine which way we wanna go.
So,
Is North Carver,
so I have to cut you off because we have a violation response here, all right, from the DEP.
correct?
Saying we have 30 days, all right, to get an operator in here. So are you saying we don't get an operator within 30 days?
So we need an operator, yes. It's not their primary concern right now. They know we're on Middleborough's water. That system is basically not being used at this time. It does need an operator, because we're obviously registered with Mass DEP. That's why it needs an operator, because we're a registered small drinking water supply. But what we have to do is we have to get all the other steps in process, including funding, to support what we need to do to move forward. So we have to find out if,
But
At
we
the end of
already
the day-
have, a budget, okay? And a budget included a water operator.
Correct.
To come in, okay? So there's $200,000 that was put in the budget for engineering costs. Some of these companies have their own engineers that we could turn around, and it's in here too, all right, to utilize them for that specific purpose, all right? At least us going ahead and putting an RFP out to all of these companies that are on the list, all right, and put it under the MMA, all right, and then we can turn around, at least say to them, we did put one out, we're doing our best, so with Shea, DEP, we're doing our best at what we're doing now. All right, if I turn around after this meeting, go back to them and say, hey, listen, we had our meeting, yeah, nothing got done, nothing got resolved, and we're not gonna act upon your,
yeah, but we're not, we don't wanna put the cart before the horse. So I don't want a 4-year contract with somebody. This might be done in 6 months, and then we don't need anybody because they're not gonna use the plant, and we're gonna stay on Middleborough. It could be that the plant is gonna stay, we gotta invest $15 million, it's gotta go to town meeting. There's a bunch of different scenarios that could play out. It should be a short-term contract to get a large company that has a primary, secondary operator, an NSU, small water type company. Short-term contract to get us in compliance with a plant that's not even producing any water at this time.
All right, not a 3-year contract.
Yeah,
Okay,
don't do a
so-
do a short-term contract, and then we go with,
Right.
in the meantime, we get the group together, and then let's get the study done, and it might be by this company to, can you provide us a quote to do a feasibility study for, does the plant stay online, support 150 customers? What else has to be done, because there was a number of issues with manganese and iron, even with the system up and running.
PFAS, they're gonna be an issue.
PFAS, now we have PFAS issues that are rearing their ugly heads in
Yeah.
every town.
But not, there's
Not here.
nothing in our well for PFAS,
Correct.
all right? So the other
This is
issues that
tested.
we have here and we have to be aware of, all right, the urban renewal plan for North Carver, okay, clearly says in that plan, in numerous places, the town of Carver will provide water to the urban renewal plan. Okay, I have talked to him, all right, to Mr. McLaughlin, okay, George, all right, talked to him when I was up in Maine on Sunday, yeah, Sunday morning, and he said at the RDU meeting, he's 6 months out, okay, and then he turns around and told me that he's 2 years out from doing anything with that area. But he also told me he's not interested in running a plant. So the town of Carver is gonna have to provide water to him. And we don't know about Middleborough, which that's gonna be a whole nother issue, coming up. But I'd like a motion to put this RFP out, for a water plant operator. And, is what I proposed here.
I don't wanna commit to 4 years.
Yeah.
I would agree the same thing, I think Eric.
All right,
Sure.
sir,
Sure.
I'm sorry. All right, it's our meeting here, okay?
I'm with Eric.
Do a short contract for like 6
Okay.
months.
So,
And actually, let's meet with them.
NSU emailed me and wanted to know where we're at. I explained to them where we're at, that we gotta make decision here at this board. We have on the other board here.
This is a-
We'll see what, all right? I don't think they're interested in a short contract. And I don't think any company would be interested in a short contract either. And if we know that we're 2 years out of having to provide water to somebody in the urban renewal plan, all right, we need to provide water. If we can't, then there's a whole nother ballgame with that, so.
Right, well, we're not providing water at this time, Middleborough is. We were having a number of issues, and then it's done. It's been offline. So, right now, we wanna look at the system as a whole, have a feasibility study on where we're gonna go with it. Is it gonna supply just those 140 people and then provide another 150,000 gallons across the street as well? Do we need additional wells? Do we need additional
need a tank.
work on the plant, a tank? Do we just stay with the existing clientele and then what it's gonna need to do that? Do we just say, nope, we're getting rid of it and we're gonna just run off Middleborough? No- And then decide what we were gonna do with the piece of property up north? I mean, I don't know anything about where
So,
slated to.
needless to
guarantee
say,
water.
I mean, we're talking about a water operator
Right.
for the plant, which we're required to have
Right.
by DEP. Okay, the longer we don't have one, it's going to be a fine.
So when you solicited them, was it for just an operator position, primary and secondary?
What I submitted to the other people were looking for someone to come in for 3 months. Because I was told I was limited to $50,000, all right, in an emergency basis. Okay, that's what I was limited to. So therefore, that's what I turn around, put it out there for 3 months, and that's it. But knowing now that we have more issues with the DEP, I think we need to have a company in there taking it over, because we're not water operators, okay? All right, I'm elected, you're appointed, but no matter what, us as commissioners here for the water district, we have to get that plant in a way that DEP is happy with.
Correct.
Okay, and I don't wanna turn around and pay somebody to come in there, all right, just to be an operator there and really not do anything, except doing the testing. I want them to make sure that they are taking care of that facility, because I don't think small water systems did.
Right, so, and I think this is gonna play in with the town as well. We wanna get one of these firms to operate the plant, but also provide the engineered feasible study on where we can go with that plant.
And that's-
What are our options?
And that's what this does.
Yeah, but we can't
Yes.
commit to 4 years, and in a year, they might say,
It's 3 years. We're committed to 3 years.
well, I don't wanna commit to 3 years, cause we're gonna pay a contract for 3 years, and they might be done in a year and say, you need 2 wells. On top of what you need another, $3 million operation filtration prior to the plant, you need a water tower, and we say, no, It's because it's gonna play a part with the town in the North Carver area.
And PFAS is gonna play a factor
Yeah, it's coming.
It's coming.
It's coming everywhere.
everywhere. It's in everything.
So I think
And
if we
that's
get
a
with the
whole new-
group,
That's a
and
whole new,
we stay in contact with DEP, this is where we're at. They're aware that we're not using any of our water. The plant's not operational at this time.
I understand, and I
So,
understand, and I've
it's-
talked to them too, and
It's-
the issues that
It's
are
red tape
plaguing
right now.
this, the issue that is plaguing us is that the poor oversight and maintenance and upkeep of that facility. That's what's plaguing here to start it, and somebody needs to go in there and take care of it, and that's our job. That's what our job is to do. That's what the laws say. This is what we're supposed to do.
The water system itself needs a lot of work. I mean, other than the aesthetics, the cleanliness and the stuff in there, that's fine, and lighting and generator, that's fine. But beyond that, we have a bigger problem with how is that plant gonna operate to support the Carver residents up north? And initial, more development up in the north. We need a firm to come in, sit down with them, we can grab three, we can put it out to bid. This is what we're looking for, we talk to them in person. We're looking for an operator, and then we want a feasibility study, we need a quote.
And like I said, that's what this would do.
Right, yeah, but I don't
This
wanna
would-
commit to
this would
4
do
years.
that.
yeah, but like
Well, we can change it. We can change it to whatever time you want. If you want to do a less time, I'll change it
I'm
for
fine
it.
with less time, I mean,
I mean,
it's probably gonna be a year for an engineered study, but I don't wanna commit to that, I don't know, I'd have to look back at if we have any records on how long the studies, and what's involved in costs that go along with it, because they're not gonna give you a quote on it, what's involved, it's gonna probably be by hour. I don't know how they run on an engineered feasibility study, because there's a lot of things that are involved with a water plant. Have you worked with
so
those before, in your past?
the way this is created is that they would give us prices for different services that they provide.
Okay,
All right, for it. That was the intent. All right, so I totally understand that once they go ahead and they do their evaluation of the plant, they're gonna come back to us and say, you need this, come right down. And probably number one on the thing is the computer system has to be upgraded. All right, so in order for
So
that to be done, and that's gonna be a big cost too.
so I think maybe our first step, okay,
Mr. Chairman, I highly recommend that you do two separate contracts. One for the O and M and then one for the engineering study. One thing about it, if you aren't comfortable with either firm, you wanna be able to, terminate the contract. I don't think you wanna mix the work together. And it could be the same firm that wins both contracts, don't get me wrong, but I think you want
Oh, yeah.
separate contracts.
So we can always, putting this RFP out gives us that means to talk to these companies about it. We can turn around and say, all right, we're not gonna do the engineering part of it. All right, it won't be part of the contract then. All right, and then we can turn around and deal with it at that time. But at least we'll have a understanding of how much it's gonna cost us. Because, I mean, right
Yeah,
now,
I-
we don't have anything.
yeah, I would commit to like a 1-year contract, and we're looking for two types of bids. We're looking for an operator, primary, secondary, and then also, we're looking for a feasibility study. We want to solicit bids on both. And then we go with, I mean, so you had your list of different firms, I don't know if did you reach out to each one of these, or no?
All the ones that were close by within 50 miles, I
Okay.
did. And like I said, the only two that got back to me is Weston and Sampson and NSU. I can tell you that from talking to other water operators that work in other towns, Carver does not have a very good reputation.
Right.
So, I mean, that's how it was put to me. So,
So there's 5 on this first page that I have contacts with, direct contacts with. So, I mean, if we get an RFP, I'm fine to reach out to the contacts I have and submit.
we have to do it all at once, and we all have to vote on it to put it out there.
So
All
why
right?
don't we get that
So-
revised?
Okay.
Do you mind if Copeland and Page reviews it?
No, I don't trust Copeland and Page.
He's gonna-
I don't trust them.
He's not just looking out for the district, he's gonna be looking out for the town of Carver as well.
No, I don't wanna deal with Copeland and Page at all. Okay? Greg
We have a-
Corbo, I do not like Greg Corbo.
What if we had another attorney?
okay? And I have to say, the only attorney I really liked from them was the lawyer. He was awesome. But we need somebody who is familiar with water systems, a water district. We have to look at this as just a water district issue, not anything else. That's why it's so important that we have our own council,
Yeah,
that
but-
they focus on just water issues.
They'll probably be on retainer though, I assume.
Yeah.
So that circles us back to the meeting with finance and then getting monies.
Well,
Get the ball rolling.
technically, we don't have a council for the North Carver Water District.
Right.
It's never been voted in. I went back and went back and back to see if the North Carver Water District has ever voted in a council, and I can't find one.
I don't
So,
recall, but I was only.
so therefore, I mean, we don't have a council. Bottom line is, you may have used, Copman and KP Law or Copman and Page, whatever, all right? But the bottom line here, the district here doesn't have a law firm.
So they were involved when they met with, I think it was the assistant TA, former commissioner, with the DEP regarding working with Middleborough and getting approval to be on their system. So Copeland and Page was.
But he was also there when he turned around and was saying, well, you guys resign your positions and then the town will take over it.
Right.
So, I mean, like I said, when you have a council that is representing both of them, parties, all right, but then turns around and I think it was wrong. It was wrong. Copman and Page, whoever was that lawyer that was in there, they turned around and said, hey, listen, no, you guys can't do this, all right? You wanna do it on your own, fine, but we can't be part of it. But you were part of it. Town up the stairs was a part of it, and that's why we need council. And I mean, we need to have, we need to turn around and have a water district and operators. I'll be happy to change this to a one-year contract. I'll change it so it doesn't have engineering, and engineering will have to be a secondary than just the operators.
Correct.
All right, so it'll be water system operations and management, but I'll take the whole
Yeah.
part of
Primary,
engineering.
secondary, yeah, primary, secondary operator for T2, D1 system. Treatment, yeah, that's treatment and distribution. Treatment 2, distribution 1 system. And the other one will be for an engineered feasibility study, so,
Well, the engineering will have to be later because that's a
Well-
little, that's gonna be a little more in-depth when I do an RFP for that.
I don't, no, I mean, how in-depth do you want, I mean, we wanna get an overall engineered study of the North Carver Water District.
Well, we have to vote, we have to discuss that,
Right.
okay? Because that would be a whole different discussion about what we wanna do with an engineering, for it. So, I'll fix this in here to just the operations and maintenance of the facility, for a primary and secondary operator for that. I'll take out anything having to do with, the engineering of it. But an engineering contract after that would have to be, we'd have to have a serious discussion of where this district wants to go with the water plant.
Right.
So,
Well, it all depends on what comes back on the engineering study, what it's capable of, what it's gonna need.
but we have to have it, we can't just turn around and have them come up and say, all right, yeah, we want you to give us every option they can have. No, we have to focus in our options. All right, do we want to fix what we have here, fix everything in place so it all runs well in this plant? Or do we want to be able, can we switch it over to a chlorine and green sand based system? All right, for that, and which one's cheaper? I mean, green sand, you have, from what I've learned, is you have to change that out every 10 years. It's like a 10-year turnaround with that too. But it depends on how much it's being used, how much water is being used, and clearly, the 130 customers we have now is not enough to keep that place running anyways. All right, so we would
And that's
have
part
to,
of the issues
we'd
too.
have to figure out with this engineering plan to let them know where we want to stand and where we want to go with this, all right? So, and that's something that we have to decide here. It's really not it's not the town side. It's what we decide here because we're in charge.
Right, but it's gonna affect the town as a whole.
Yes.
It'll affect the town as a whole, yeah, because it will cost money.
Yes.
a lot, it's gonna
A lot.
cost a lot of money for it.
I mean, we want to protect
But-
the interests of the North Carver Water District customers, but we also have to look out at the town as well. It's gonna be an overall
No, we
impact.
don't. The laws here is that we're water commissioners, we deal with the water system. This is what we deal with.
Right.
That's what we deal with.
I
The
understand.
town stuff is other issues, all right? And whatever we make decisions on here is going to affect the town,
Correct, that's what I'm getting at.
all right? But we have to make these decisions when we start turning out, well, we have to talk to this person, that, all right? They wanna come in and talk to us, fine, let us know what their issues are. If we wanna invite them in and talk about a certain issue, that's fine, all right? But the bottom line here is, we need to make these decisions here. No one else. We make these decisions.
The only thing I'd say, that with all due respect, I think Eric read the numbers, is that the town of Carver is putting in, is it $300,000 a year to have the plant running, just to operate? So without the town of Carver, I can tell you right now, you're bankrupt.
That's not, but you have to understand, it's not our fault.
I don't know,
It's,
I'm not.
it's
telling
not
you-
our
I'm
fault.
saying it's anybody's
Town meeting,
fault. I'm just telling you the
town
reality.
meetings, town meeting, okay, voted in a water system, and in my opinion, voted it in because someone lied to us, all right, because we gave them wrong information, all right? But bottom line here is that it was put in probably at the wrong time, okay? But no matter what, it's there, we have to do something with it, all right? And that's something that we as a board are gonna have to deal with. And I understand it costs money, and it's gonna cost the taxpayers money, all right? But we still have to do our job as guidelined by state law, all right? And the DEP is a big part of that, all right? So,
So that's why it ties back to this feasibility study. It might be, don't utilize it, make a deal with Middleborough and those existing customers, stay on with Middleborough. And
Yeah,
if somebody.
well, that's why we have to have Middleborough come in here and really discuss with
Then
them, all
Maybe we
right?
should talk to Middleborough first and find out what's going on.
Where they're at, I don't
And,
know.
and
You know,
that's
because-
something that, like I said, that was, like I said, high on my priority list to bring them in and have a discussion with them.
I think
But it
that's where
needs
we
to
should
be-
start, because if they're not gonna let, I mean, if they're eventually gonna say, hey, you guys are get off our water, then, yeah. But if they say, no, it's cool,
We also have to look at the long-term effects of the North Carver area for water.
yeah. but
That
if Middle-
more houses are gonna get contaminated.
I think we need to talk to
and we're
Middleborough,
gonna-
in my opinion. I think we need to talk to Middleborough. in my
I
opinion.
totally agree. I
Okay.
totally
Then
agree, all right,
let's-
with it, but.
Let's do that.
We're meeting in 2 weeks. Would finance be able to meet with us?
Yes.
Why don't we get finance to come up next month, so we can get some money appropriated into us to get going with, get a primary, secondary operator, and then we'll get to work on getting a draft for a feasibility study from an engineer firm, which might be the same one. And then we'll get to the ball rolling with talking with Middleborough on where they're at. I think I heard the poles getting moved in a month. They're gonna be putting the meter pit in up north.
Yeah. Yeah, all right, so I'll make the changes and have them ready in 2 weeks for that. So we'll move on to the next one. It said remove use of water, that meant to the next one is that, it kinda goes with the 12, the number 12. I was looking at hiring just a water supervisor for us, but, if we're gonna hire a company to come in, we don't need a water supervisor. So, and then 15 is for a plant engineer. Again, that goes with the other one
Yep.
for it, to combine them, but we'll separate those as two separate ones, and I'll work on that.
Mr. Chairman, if I could, the one thing I'd say about the water supervisor, I have had discussions with small water systems. I think if the board were to make me the water supervisor and allow me to sign contracts, small water systems would come back to work for us on a temporary basis. It would get DEP off our back. It would give us time to get the engineering study done to find out where we really stand. And I think that's what we
Perfect.
really need to do, quite honestly. I think that's the big
Okay,
step.
so, that's,
That works.
I have to say, no, it doesn't work. Small water systems tore up that plant. They left electrical wires in the open. They put gloves on a sump pit. a rubber glove on top of a sump pit. Why would you do that? They left a compressor that was leaking and it had a cloth on top of the compressor that was full with oil. Okay, that compressor's leaking now. They were never using the alarm system there. Okay, what else did that place? It was just a mess. Okay, how can anybody work in that place? Small water systems, I don't want them anywhere near this plant
Well,
anymore.
and I mean, I'm guilty of it. I only was up there, I think, 4 or 5 times throughout the course of my year there. But maybe they just need more oversight.
No way. Heck no. Nope. And you being in the water, I'm sorry. We need separation. We had Michael Milanowski that was here as a town administrator that he wanted to run everything. He had control of everything, period, cut and dry. And we see how good that worked out, or it didn't work out. Okay? We need separation from the town. All right? I understand it. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. All right? I disagree. And I don't want anybody writing a contract, all right, or signing a contract for the North Carver Water District that I don't know anything about. Okay? And that's what my fear is. All right?
But you
That
have
we're,
in the past.
that everything has to be done through us.
Right.
Because it's us. Okay? Anything someone does for us, it doesn't matter. It comes back to us.
Right.
Okay? And I'm sorry. I appreciate your offer. I know you gave me that offer before.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, we can't do that, and I don't want small water. If you guys want to overrule and say, hey, yeah, let's get small water system in here, all right, so be it. But guess what?
Well, I'm just curious because they know the plan already. It's not just, I know there were 2, I think it was Steve and, I want to say Greg, were the 2 primary and secondary, but they have more than those 2 operators.
Yeah, but even still, I'm sorry, their own management staff didn't even oversee them.
Right.
All right, their management staff didn't even come into that plant and look at the plant and see how dirty and disgusting the plant is. All right, they didn't have a bathroom. How do you not have a bathroom for employees to utilize out there in the middle of the woods? Okay, which goes back to, why did you ever get rid of the porta potties that were out there before? I know it costs money, but guess what? People need to use the bathroom out in the middle of the woods. All right? I don't care if they're there for an hour or 4 hours or 8 hours. You need a bathroom. You need to be able to clean your hands. All right? If you're working on any type of water system, it's got to be clean. Anytime I'm dumbfounded that I go into a water plant, all right, and granted, it's a green sand and chlorine-based system. You can eat off those floors. It was so clean and neat. All right? I just can't.
Talking about the Middleborough plant?
No. I haven't been to, I was hoping to, but no. This is another plant, another town.
Let's go out and check, let's go look at the plan.
All right? Well, that's on the other things. So, a site plan for the members and town officials. I picked July 20th. It's a Saturday. And if we could do from 9 to 12, a 3-hour block there.
We need 3, I don't know if we need 3 hours though. Probably
Well,
maybe
if we want town officials to come down and take a look at it, I think they should look at the
Just kind
plan
of a
too.
window when they want to come through.
Correct.
Nobody has to stay the whole time. They can just pop in and,
Huh? Well, someone has to be there to keep
Right.
it open and running and everything, and I have no problem. I'll be happy to stay the whole 3 hours.
yeah, I
I
think
have
if
no
you want
problem
to put
with
a
it.
window up there for people to stop by and look.
All right, but I think,
Sorry, through you, Mr. Chairman, just to let you know, I'm off next week, other 2 select board members are off, I don't think, 3 of them will be around for 20.
Okay.
Just so you know.
if they want to come another day during the daytime when I'm around, that's fine, except for Wednesday. All right, but I'll leave it open for town officials to come down and take a look at it. But my goal was that we could have, if we put this out,
Yeah, we can put
for
it out anyway.
operators.
I want to set that up so we get out there, and we'll just have a kind of a, I mean, do a 2-hour window, so you're not tied up if a majority of the select board might not be around.
Yeah, majority won't be around this.
But we can pop in and just,
Yeah.
I'm fine with, be there, whatever, first 9 o'clock or whatever you
Okay.
want to do.
This next week coming up, right?
Next week, not this weekend, the following weekend,
I'm on call.
like 9, something.
if,
Just call.
if things go good and it works.
Well, we're commissioners now, we can
Okay.
go up there anytime.
All right.
So, we'll get to that. If you guys, because today's the 10th, all right, we would have to post a site visit, we have to post it out there, all right? If it got posted then, I could do the
It's not a
date,
meeting- We're not doing a meeting though, we're just doing a site visit, right?
doesn't matter, I still want to post it, let people know that we're there.
Yeah,
And if
you
we're all
don't
there
have
as
to post
three,
it. As a matter of fact, I might advise you not to post it, because if you post it, then you invite the public, and I don't know if you want the public walking through your plan. In fact, I'm gonna say you don't want. the
Yeah,
Yeah,
public
because
well-
it
walking
has,
through your
yeah,
plan. I would advise you not to post it.
as employees, we can walk through there.
Right, no questions, it's not question and answer.
just-
You're not
well,
afraid.
I don't want three of us being there. My thing is that I don't want to open up the open meeting law
Well, we're
with
not
having
gonna
three members
Yeah,
there.
We won't discuss it.
So-
We'll make it a point, we're not gonna we're just gonna look around, that's it.
All right, so you're at the end of my driveway, all right, for my site visit with the ZBA,
I wasn't
and
there. I actually wasn't there.
you weren't?
No.
I could have sworn you were. Was that the next one?
I wasn't at your house at all for a second.
All right, sorry.
It's all right.
Sorry, I almost bit my tongue, but no matter what,
Yeah, that's why I stopped you.
certain things here, I don't want to make any issues. All right, I don't want to open the door to say, hey, these guys talked about this, that, and the other thing. And I want to make sure, if you guys want to go down there individually, fine.
Why don't we do that first?
If you guys want to go down, I just want to know when you're down there, because I do have a camera set up inside the plant, just to let you know. That captures anybody that walks through those doors. All right, so,
Did you put a cell cam up? Do you again?
so, anybody that walks through those doors, camera's gonna take them out. All right, so I just wanna make you guys aware that it is there. So, if you just let me know when you are going to go there,
I'm gonna pop by this weekend,
okay. All right,
probably Saturday.
all right. Do you still have keys for it?
I don't.
Do you have keys?
I
No. So I went up to see about getting the keys from Dave's office. He said come today, and of course I couldn't come today. But no matter what, there should be 3 sets of keys up there. One for you, and one for me. That's one of the other issues we're gonna have to deal with, is we have to know who has keys to get access to that plant.
Busy. All right, so
So that's one of the other issues we're gonna have to do, is, because we have to know who has keys to a water plant, period, cut and dry. All right, I took the keys from the lockbox, I have those with me, all right? So they're not in that lockbox, because I didn't want anybody getting into that lockbox, whoever has the code to it, i.e. small water systems, and anything happening there.
that's not tied to fire though, too, right?
No, fire department has their own keys, and there's the exterior box
Okay.
that has a key to get in there too.
So that key is for the main gate out at Pleasant Street, I assume the fence gate and then the door?
So you would get a key for the gate. There's the fire one on the top, the bottom one is for everyone else, i.e. conservation or whatever.
Right.
All right, to get in, you unhook that, lift the bolt out, open it up. Okay, you should have 3 keys. One key is the master key, one key is for the front door, and one key is for the lock on the fence.
Right.
So you should have those 3.
And Dave has them?
Dave should have them all, and then we'll have to get a total from him of who has keys, and we have to list them out for it. It's all about security of a water treatment plant. We need to make sure that that's secure. All right, so again, I'll do a plant tour on the 20th from 9 to 11, all right? And that's for town officials, okay? And you guys will go ahead and do your own when you go there, all right? And just let me know when you are gonna be there, all right? All right, next. Minutes. What did I do with minutes? Okay. Right. All right, we have minutes of May 15th.
That would be you.
That's all you.
That's
yeah.
all you.
No, you were there.
Was that the,
May 15th was the meeting between me,
Yeah, you
you,
were there.
and
That was the last one.
Mike.
That was the,
oh,
it was the
okay.
very last meeting, so
Okay.
technically you and I can vote on
I'm thinking
that.
last month, I'm sorry.
No, the 17th, it wasn't an official meeting, it was an information session that I did, so it doesn't matter. So I'll entertain a motion for the minutes of May 15th.
I'll second.
All right, I made a motion, you're seconding it. All those in favor, or discussion with them?
No.
I had nothing either. And- All right,
Can't do it.
all those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, aye. 2 and 1, abstain. All right. So, next meeting, we already took care of, if that's okay.
Do we need to reorganize?
No. Nope,
No?
nope. Through the MMA, Mass Municipal Association, most boards reorganize and elect a chair at the first meeting following an annual town election. We don't have anything in our bylaws that say that. If you would go ahead and reorganize every time the board changes here, how are you gonna get things done here? So, I mean, I was elected and I was voted in as the chairman. I think I should keep this position for a year. And we work from there. And then the next
Well, need a vice
election.
chair.
It doesn't say that actually in the,
Well, we had
Nowhere.
it prior, so.
We had a
Well-
vice chair before, didn't you?
right, but if there is no,
So
there-
can I make a motion to make a vice
it's
chair?
not on the agenda.
For reorganize with members
No,
now?
it's not on the agenda. So we can't do that, but, like I said, we don't need a vice chair. It's
can we
not in
put
the
that on-
bylaw,
Can we put that on the agenda for next meeting then?
okay? I'll think about it. I'll think about it. But right now, like I said, I think a lot of the work that I've done so far, I think it's given us a good foundation for the water district, and that we have to move forward in addressing some of the issues with DEP. That's what I've tried to do, and like I said, that's
Okay, I
it.
just want on the record that I would like to, I think we should reorganize, but I'd like to make a motion.
Okay, it's not on the agenda, we
I know,
can't.
but I just make it noted.
It's noted, I'll think about it, and,
So next meeting,
yep,
finance.
Yeah, we can get the finance director, I'll talk to her.
If
I think it'd be
somebody,
good to go over the budget, you know,
Yes.
show what you have for funding.
yeah, definitely. O&M, if we get somebody from operations and maintenance, we should get, I mean,
well, I think we should do things incrementally, to
Right.
be honest. The finance, I have no problem, calling in, Middleborough, is a good
yeah,
thing
reach
for
out
us.
to them.
I think overpowering too much, I think really focusing in on the money issue and the relationship with Middleborough is important. And getting in operators in here is important. So over these next 2 weeks, I'll go ahead and get somebody in there to get rid of the bugs and everything
Yeah,
out of it. At least
yeah,
we
that's
got one
approved.
thing out of there, but
Well, if we get somebody from operations and maintenance down, even if one of us is gonna meet them down there, kind of show them, hey, this is what we wanna do. If they can get a crew down there to kind of cut things back, that's gonna eliminate a lot of the mice and everything else coming up close to the buildings.
well, yes.
And that's not gonna,
but-
they're working on town time, so it's not gonna cost us any money.
Well, it is. It should be costing us money. It should be costing the district money.
Not technically, it's,
No, I think it is. I think anything that's done to the district here, the North Carver Water District, all right, the town should be billing us, so there's a clear understanding of how much this water.
well, we can have them track the hours. the
Well,
billable
and
hours.
that's what we need. We need to turn around and have accountability. And to be accountable to our residents to say, hey, this water system, we all know it's not gonna produce enough water to offset the money, all right, that the town puts in, unless we get another probably 250 people on it and more flow. I mean, the flow that, for the urban renewal plan, I mean, you may be talking 60,000 gallons a day. That's still not enough to keep us.
I mean,
to
it's
keep this
fine.
plant running.
Y- y-
So, I mean, but even still, the amount of money that he's looking at for businesses to come in there, it's still not gonna be enough to keep this system running, all right? I think you guys don't understand where I'm coming at to some extent with this system, okay? I totally understand the system, it's a crappy system, we got stuck to it, all right? It's a system that,
It's inadequate.
it's not, it probably could have done a smaller system.
It's all it's
all
meant
right?
for. It-
But no matter what, all right, we got what we have now, all right? And my feeling is we need to get people in there to evaluate it, but we also need to have people in there that we get DEP off our backs. And that's my big thing, is I want DEP off our backs, so then we can turn around and deal with everything else.
And Mike's aware.
All right.
This is a lot of administrative red tape. So he's aware that there's a water system in town, under North Carver Water, but it's not in use. It's
Right,
offline.
but
in the middle.
it's not online because of everything that happened, all right? By lack of oversight, lack of maintenance, lack of everything else.
Well, there's
I
no,
mean,
the maintenance for years has been going on, but there's other things that, we're getting more iron and manganese now. The wellheads have to be cleared now, because they've been stagnant for 6 months.
But I gave you the water reports
Yep.
there, and the last water reports that they had, it was good.
Right.
So the water system can provide good, clean water for the residents. They can, all right? Is it financially feasible for us to continue it on? All right, that's something that's gonna have to be discussed at a later date. But we have to start working on the issues of that plan, all right? And the bottom line here is, the Board of Selectmen could always turn around and say, hey, we wanna have a special town meeting to discuss disbanding the North Carver Water District. Go ahead, all right, do it, all right? Because the bottom line here is that the plant's there, it cost us money, all right? We're gonna be paying for this for a long, long time. Yeah, 2049. Okay.
2049, 5.6 million.
Exactly, all right, but, but we also have to understand that the urban renewal plan that's there, that if he starts getting people in there, he signs a contract within, we'll say another 4 months. He goes ahead, says, all right, here you go, I got 2 people buying property from me now, okay? I gotta finish my water line, and they can't get hooked up to water, so they can't build anything until they have water there.
I don't know if that's on us.
But it is, because it's in the urban renewal plan.
In the urban renewal or contract.
No, in the urban renewal plan was put out, that the state agreed upon, in numerous places, it says the town is gonna provide water to them through the North Carver Water District.
Yeah, but that's a planning, I have to see this document. It's a planning document, right?
That's the
Not a
urban,
signed
that's
contract.
the urban renewal plan that was created and the RDA is in charge of, so.
RDA has that? RDA has it?
Yeah, it's actually on the website too.
Yeah, it is, it's on the website.
You can go on the website too, and the town website under RDA, take a look at that. But I actually, there's a couple of different places in there that states in the urban renewal plan for it.
Well, like you said, Bob, that would be an agreement between the urban renewal committee and the North Carver Water District, right?
Yeah, right.
Right? Not the North Carver.
Well, it's through the RDA. It's through the RDA and they oversee it, so.
Mr. Chair, was it voted at town meeting?
What?
Was it voted at town meeting?
What was voted at town meeting?
The plan, that for
The urban renewal.
the urban renewal plan?
Yeah, oh yeah,
Years ago.
years ago. Yep. So, all right, I think we've beat a dead horse, and I'm not willing to beat anymore. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll make that motion.
Second it?
Motion been made, seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay.
So I'll grab keys. Keys.